Hello and welcome to another World of Warplanes video with me, Sir 10 Death. Very recently I have moved over to starting to check out some of the tier 5 tech tree planes, and I have reviewed the Spitfire 1 and the Yak 1 yesterday. And today I'm looking at a one that came highly recommended to me, and that was the American tier 5 fighter, the Curtiss P-40 Warhawk. As ever, there will be some gameplay footage of me playing with this plane, and we'll be talking about what it does well and what it doesn't do so well, and whether it's really worth looking at for yourself or not. We're in a bit of a difficult matchup here because we've got ourselves into a tier 6 game, and I'm quite inexperienced with this plane. I think I've only played it once or twice before and still getting used to it because it doesn't play like my normal sort of planes, in the sense that it's not quite as manoeuvrable. But we'll talk about that as we go on and look at the gameplay footage. First thing you'll notice here is I've got a really snappy paint job on this. I got it out of one of those loot crates from the Wings of Albion event that recently finished, and it's given me this P-40 paint job which has got red wings, and it looks really quite nice, I think. So I think I'll be keeping this plane anyway. I am trying to broaden out my hangar and keep a much more variety of planes. Ultimately I'd like to keep everything I've actually ever played, but for space reasons I'm having to swap things back and forward a bit at the minute. Anyway, my original plan here was to head off towards this area on the left hand side of the map here, and then I rapidly realised that actually everybody else, the entire rest of the team, were going different places. A whole bunch going to the centre and a whole bunch going right. Now it would be a mistake if I kept going myself there. If I was in something like a ground attack aircraft or even a heavy fighter, I could probably go and pound the ground a bit and try and take that zone, but it would be ridiculous for me to go in a fighter and try and take control of it. I'd probably get shot down and do a whole lot of nothing. So I'm heading in towards the middle here and going to get involved in the gameplay and see how things pan out. So let's talk about the plane then. Well, when you get the Curtiss P-40, the first thing worth noting is it has got 240 hit points as standard, and that's pretty good when you bear in mind that some other ones that I've been reviewing lately have got 180 or 200. To have 240 is quite a significant step up. I'm just trying out this plane here and realising that actually I can get straight up to this bomber's height and to get onto his tail, and he's not going to enjoy seeing me at all, because now that I've got him in my sights, I think I'm going to get my first kill of the game already. Just slow myself right down as much as I can to drop in behind him, drop my flaps out and really drop my speed. Brilliant. Excellent. I won nearly 1,000 combat points. I've only been playing the game a minute or so. Lovely stuff, and got rid of a bomber which stops him from taking this area as easily. So, first thing worth noting that this plane can climb, it can reach altitude. Brilliant. So yeah, it's got 240 hit points when you get it. When you upgrade the airframe and the likes, it becomes 250, which is a little bit better, but still 240 is not to be sniffed at. At tier 5, 240 hit points is really quite nice. It means that you can get into a scrape and probably come out of it with a bit of good fortune anyway. Its manoeuvrability, I alluded to earlier, is a little bit on the low side. As fighters go, it's 63. A lot of the ones I've been playing recently, the likes of the Spitfire and the Japanese ones and the Yak line, they're up in the high 80s or indeed 90ish area. So to have a manoeuvrability of 63 worried me a little bit. I did actually get concerned, thinking, well, I think I'll struggle with this plane. Having said that, when I first played the P-36 Hawk a couple of weeks ago, I thought the same thing and had a stunningly good game in that and really loved it. And I have to say, I'm wondering whether my actual playstyle is starting to shift more towards these planes that I would describe more as hybrid fighters. They're not out and out turn and burn. They fall somewhere between, in my opinion anyway, somewhere between being a turn and burn and a boom and zoom. They can do a bit of both. They sit somewhere in the middle. Having said all of that, that 63 manoeuvrability, it feels a little bit slow in the turn, but its turn time on paper is still 10.8 seconds, which is not bad at all. Yes, you're going to struggle to keep up with an A6-0 or a Spitfire, but with most of the planes you're probably going to do okay with them. And at the minute I'm not finding any major problems turning around and getting on the tail, especially when you've got things like an attack aircraft. That's not really a problem at all. But yeah, this feels pretty nice. I quite like how it plays. I'm already on over 2,500, almost 3,000 combat points, and this game's going quite well so far. Nice, got myself a Flames in the Sky award as well for shooting someone down by setting them on fire. Brilliant stuff. Its recommended altitude to be playing this at is actually significantly above where I am now. You're meant to play it around the 15 or 1600 meter mark. Now I'm right down here at ground level, 100 meters off the ground, because I had killed that bomber early on, then I dropped out the sky to help out get rid of the heavy fighters, and then there happened to be a couple of ground attack aircraft kicking about, and when you've got this kind of firepower, it's worth helping out your team, because we've only just managed to take this zone quite recently, and this is a close game so far. But yeah, this is a good plane, I have to say. I like how it feels. It feels pretty nice. Speed wise then is one of its real strengths. This is a quick plane. When you're not boosting, this will tick over, even as a stock plane, around 360, 370 kilometers per hour. Once you get the engines upgraded, that'll push up to nearer 400 as a standard speed. When you boost, that'll go well into the 500s. So this is quite a quick plane. So it does mean having to adjust playstyle a bit. If you've been used to slower but more manoeuvrable planes, you can suddenly find yourself overshooting the target, so to speak. So it has taken me a little bit of time to adapt to this. Now, I am aware I've got an enemy on my tail. It didn't seem to be doing very much. I'm not taking much damage, so I want to get rid of this attack aircraft if I can. But no, there's an example of where that speed can catch you out of it, because I couldn't quite get myself behind him, and I almost overshot the target. I'm having to do a full sweep around just to try and catch up with them, but somebody else has finished him off anyway. Actually, I think I did, because I got the 200 points. So I think I must have set him on fire. Oh, now I'm taking some serious damage. I've got somebody behind me. I'm trying to shrug them off. I'm on fire. And I'm just trying to stay in this battle as much as I possibly can, but it's not looking good. So if I'm going to go out of there, I'm going to try and just get myself the last few shots onto somebody. The fire's out, but I'm still alive. Only just hanging on by the wing and a prayer. Oh, there's an Arsenal Delane here sitting in front of me on low hit points. I think I've just knocked him down. I have. Yeah, just before I got knocked out myself, I've managed to get rid of another player. So I'm on, what's that? 6,000 combat points in my first sortie, and the team are now taking a grip of the game. It is looking pretty good, and this plane feels great. Let's talk about the guns then. So the guns, when you get it as standard, 4 12.7mm guns, that's really nice. That can put out quite a lot of damage. They've got an effective range of 500 meters, which is also nice. A lot of fighters have effective ranges of about 440 or 420 meters, so 500 means you can start shooting before others can shoot back sometimes. And 4 12.7s can put out quite a lot of damage. That upgrades to 6 12.7s, which is even better. I hope for the second time in the game I've managed to get my altitude up to 2,000 meters, swing in, drop behind the bomber, and I'm going to take him out here. I'm just going to take him out of the game and yeah, ruin his day. And I nearly hit my stall speed there. Stall speed of this is about 150 kilometers per hour. I actually was down about 130 then. It was still going okay, but it was worth it to get rid of that bomber again. So I'm dropping down here just to try and go to work on this multi-roll. And yeah, this is a lovely plane. I have to say I'm enjoying this. I have been enjoying the tier 5s that I've played so far. Spitfires are well renowned for being quite nice planes, and I quite like that. But the thing about the Spitfire, for me, just an opinion, is it's a little bit almost run-of-the-mill. It's just you fly around, you shoot things. And the Yak 1, which I reviewed a day or so ago, played quite like the Spitfire. This plays differently, but it feels really, really nice. It feels more durable, like it can take more of a beating and really scrap and brawl a bit more. And yeah, I have to say I'm enjoying it. Yeah, it's a good plane. The plane that went before this, the P-36 Hawk, I raved about and said it was a really nice plane. I'll put a link to that in the video actually as well. It's really good, and I thought it was brilliant. I'm loving every minute of this. A friend of mine did say to me, oh, there's the Guardian Award, did say to me, get the P-40. If there's one tier 5 plane you probably really want to keep when you move beyond, it's the P-40. And when I got this, the very first time I played it, I had an okay game. I did about 5,000 combat points, a few kills, and thought, yeah, that's okay, but there's nothing to write home about. Now that I'm actually starting to get used to it, I'm loving this plane. It's a great little plane. Highly recommend it. How did we do overall then? Just shy of 10,000 combat points. The Flying Start Award is standard. Effective Fire and Flames in the Sky are all fairly common awards to get. And Subjugate are all fairly common. Only a Class 4 fighter, but still a decent game. Finished top on the team. Got the Guardian Award as well. Yeah, so it's a Tech Tree plane. Cash-wise, how did it do? 60,000 is good for a Tech Tree plane. Wow, 7,500 experience. It is a ×3 weekend. And finished top on the team overall. And top on the entire game, I think. Yeah, just about. So, would I recommend the P-40? Absolutely. This is a great plane, and if you haven't played it yet, the American line up to this point I've enjoyed, so I would recommend going down this way and check it out for yourself. And hopefully I'll see you on the battlefield or in the skies pretty soon. As ever, thanks very much for watching. Cheers now. Goodbye.